5 different women and made lifelong commitments to all of them, and am paying for them to live and supporting the children, I go to prison.
It's a front for sexual child abuse.
Right.
What it is.
No, what you go to prison for, because one just went to prison the other day, is when they're under 16, you're going to prison.
Yeah, you're not going to prison.
I never defended that. I mean, I don't think you should.
Well, you didn't make it clear to cut.
I have 4 children. I'm against that.
Listen to me.
I was just saying that polygamy itself, we're all like, ew, yuck, polygamy, because it's weird, it's different. But if you actually apply logic to it and are open-minded,
well, you never.
It's like, why is that? Hold on. Why is that?
You never ever. The words.
Than having children out of wedlock.
These words. Hold on. These words never came out of your mouth, because I watched the segment and almost got on a plane to go beat your ass because you're my friend. You never said these words, and this might have explained it a little bit better. And I'm dumb compared to you, but I think I might be better on air than you. Here's what you should have said. I'm all for adult polygamy. I'm all for people of age, consenting adults in polygamy. You never said that.
No, I'm not actually for polygamy.
Well, now you're not for it.
That it's not my business. I just don't think it's, I actually think it's probably, I know someone who's in a polygamous
all over the road.
and I think it's a huge hassle, and I think it probably
But you never said, or during the Warren Jeffs segment, you never said, hey, listen, you never said, let me break it down for you. I'm Tucker Carlson, and then you undid your bow tie, and you kind of like put your hand through your hair, and you said, let me break it down for you, okay, ladies and gentlemen? I know a lot of you out there now thinking that I'm supporting this weirdo, and he's done some horrible things. But let me tell you what I'm not supporting. I'm not supporting the act of having sex with people under the age of 18 or 16, no matter what state you live in. I'm not supporting that. I am all about, this is what I'm supporting. I am supporting the ability to be having multiple wives with multiple responsibilities if you are an adult and that person that you are marrying is an adult and did it on their free will. You never said those words. And subsequently, you came across creepy.
Yeah, well, I think look, you're clearly right that I came across creepy. There's no doubt about it.
So I'm just trying to say.
The public relations war that day.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it.
that day then set you up to be.
There's no doubt about it. And that and many other days. And I've defended things on principle that are very unpopular.
Right.
And the truth is, as you well know, Bubba, the public wants you to pander to its views. So if everybody thinks
I don't
Princess
pander
Diana
to
was a great person, you have to pretend she was a great person.
I don't pander to their views.
Al Gore is smart. You have to be like, oh, no, he's very smart. You have to go along with what the majority thinks in order to be popular.
Maybe to be on TV, maybe,
but not into that.
Well, you know what though? The last couple of weeks, we just pulled a Marine out of the fire, and we were the only ones. The lynch mob was out with their torches burning and everything.
So how did it feel? I mean, you know what it feels like. You guys have been on the unpopular side of things before too, and you know what it feels like to have a minority view of something.
But I mean, you're all over the road.
Outrageous! What you did is outrageous.
But Tucker, you're all over the road. I mean, you can't. You're all over the road with allowing smoking in a restaurant, and nobody should step in and tell you to do anything. And if you want to light up your Marlboro Red in front of a family of 6 that is trying to enjoy their meal beside you, then damn them, because they should have known that this place a lot. Tucker, I mean, talk about. Them. I mean, you're such a militant.
Everybody the choice. Don't tell adults how to live their lives. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's like everyone says that they agree with that. Oh, everyone's like, oh yeah, I agree. Let people live their lives, but they don't want.
Let me just ask you one question.
What people want is to live their own lives, but they don't want to allow other people to live their own lives. They don't want to allow other people to make decisions they disagree with.
Let me just ask you one question.
Yeah.
For your stance by saying, well, I have the right to smoke my Marlboro Red in the restaurant, I can come back and say, and I have the right not to smoke one in that restaurant. Because you know what? If what comes more naturally is obviously people that don't smoke, because smoking is something that was made by man and is consumed by man and is enjoyed by man. So, I mean, if you want to talk about what came first, that is the ability not to smoke. So as you say, I have the right to be able to smoke in this restaurant, I come back and say, and I have the right not to have to deal with it. So
I'm not actually saying I have the right to smoke in a restaurant. That's not the argument I'm making.
Oh, that's what you said a long time ago. God, you're a dumbass. I hate you.
The restaurant owner, the guy who actually owns the restaurant, who built it, runs it, and pays for it, has the right to decide whether he wants smoking in his restaurant. just as he has the right to decide whether he wants smoking in his house.
You know what? I would agree with you.
Most restaurant owners, if given the choice, would say no smoking because most people don't like it.
Now, you know what?
I don't smoke.
I have to probably agree with you. Then put that on the guy that's got to pay the bills, and then you know what? If he determines it to be one way or the other, then that's what it is.
But that's always the case I've made. And why should the government tell me what I can do in my restaurant? Look, let me put it this way. If I have a restaurant and I say, I want smoking in the restaurant, I want belching in the restaurant, I want people to show up naked in the restaurant, I want people to have fist fights in the restaurant.
Ned will be the only person that went.
Yeah, well, obviously,
that's a hell of a restaurant.
And like 3 other maybe ultimate fighter types, and that would be it.
Right. Ned, you'd be smoking your hand-rolled cigarettes. You'd be naked fighting guys.
There's nothing wrong with allowing the public to decide what it likes.
You know what? I don't have a problem when you spin it that way, but when you spin it that, you don't want government in your life and they can't tell you where you can and cannot smoke, then that doesn't come across too cool.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't. I mean, I know that my views are very unpopular and that people want government to be mommy and people want government to tell other people what to do. People want that. That's why we have it. This is a democracy. We get what we want, and most people don't want to make their own decisions, and they want to be told by government how to behave, how to live. They want government to help them lose weight and be happy. And I don't want that. I can actually make those decisions myself. Let's
move on, because we're going to be you can't knock any sense into this guy's head. He's an idiot, I tell you that right now.
Come on. You know that I'm right.
No,
you know it.
You know that I'm right.
Threatened by the purity and the brilliance of my argument.
I am the model of the American man. Dumb. Have a good job, and I got a lot more street smarts and common sense than you do. Most men,
you definitely know what the public wants more than I do.
Most men, have a lot of street smarts and not a lot of book smarts. You, on the other hand, my friend, are completely opposite. You have 0 street smarts and a plethora of book knowledge, which has gotten you, in some cases far, and other cases stupidity laden type tyrants, like for instance the Warren Jeffs deal. That's all you would have had to have done is break it down. So you know what? After the next commercial stops it, I'm going to go ahead and break this right on down as to how I really feel. Coming up next, the Tucker Carlson takes my bow tie off and stretches out a little bit and gives you the skinny as to what I mean about this Warren Jeffs people. You guys all hate my guts right now. You're never going to watch me again. Well, let me break it for you. Let me break it down for you coming up next. Then you
they hold them right through.
Too late though, because all the viewers.
No, they hold for the commercials.
Then I'm going to hold them through the 7 minutes of commercials or 4 minutes of commercials, and I'll be like, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know you guys probably all think that I'm a dildo because I said that Warren Jeffs is not that bad of a guy. Let me explain. First of all, Warren Jeffs is a creep because he has, from what I can gather, had sex with people under the age of whatever the legal age is there. Secondly, I don't have a problem with arranged marriages and or having multiple wives if that's what polygamy is supposed to be, but please understand that would only be under the guise of adults, consenting adults that have agreed to that particular arrangement, and people and having sex with consent, of age adults and what have not. In no way, shape, or form would I ever condone, as I have kids myself, anybody using a kid in a sexual type manner and or a prearranged marriage type manner or anything like that. I'm speaking about consenting adults wanting to live within the lifestyle of having multiple partners, being married to them, and taking the responsibility of raising that family as such. See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not as big of a dildo as you thought I was. Even though I got a dildo haircut and a dildo bow tie, I'll be back here tomorrow to give you some more dildo views. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? I should have done that.
Yeah, you'd still be on TV. God, why am I not on TV?
Probably.
I just came up with that.
You know what? I should have explained myself better. You're absolutely right. And I get grumpy and I let... Yeah. You get
grumpy and
I let that color my...
You turn real bitchy. You get real grumpy, you turn real bitchy.
No, I never get bitchy. Come on now.
I'm just saying.
I am not bitchy. Say what you want, but bitchy?
Spice, how is it that I just came off the top of my head, how is it that I don't have my own something besides this? How is it? How is that I've been sitting...
man, how old are you? You're only like 42 or something. I think you're doing pretty great.
43, my friend. 43.
Are you really 43 already?
Yeah, 43, kid. But I don't send my kid to boarding school either.
You're old. My wife turned 41 today.
Well, it's time to get rid of her.
Yeah. I can't get rid of her.
Dr. Diaco.
My whole life.
A very famous doctor here, plastic surgeon, Dr. Diaco, who's my age. He's 43. And Brent, of course, I know he does not mean this, but he might. He married a woman that was 19. And what is she, Romanian?
I want to say she's Romanian.
She's No, she's not Romanian. She's Portuguese or some kind of something.
Oh, it was like Romanian or Czechoslovakia.
She's like a
Czech
foreigner from a poor country.
Nah, she's something, man, but she's beautiful, like striking, stop the room, oh my God, who the hell's with that, or who the hell. Okay, so he marries her. She's 19, right? And we're at a party